And one of the ways to evaluate whether you're in a conducive environment for growth is to discern whether you're looking forward or whether you are looking back. And this is, let me break that down. You can determine what type of environment that you are in by just the level of conversation in that environment. Like, what are people talking about in this environment? Are we looking forward to things that are ahead, or are we looking back at things that we've done? Like, that's a great way to discern what type of environment you are in. Because if you're in an environment to where if you are around people that all y'all talk about is the good old days and the things that you used to do and back in the day and all that, then you're not growing. You're not going anywhere. Because if you spend most of your time talking about the past and what things used to be like and what it used to be, then you're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. You want to be in an environment to where you're dreaming and you're looking forward to things that to come. You're looking forward to things that you want to accomplish. That's how you can determine what type of environment you're in. Are y'all talking about the good old days, or are you talking about what we're going to do next? How we're going to get to the next level? And if you're anything like me, you have an intuitive sense to know when it's time to grow, when it's time to make a change, when you're not in an environment that is conducive and supportive to you growing. The second thing is this: you need to change yourself and your environment. Notice I didn't say change yourself or your environment. I said change yourself and your environment. You can't just change one. You got to change both, because it's not going to work if you just change one. For instance, if you just change yourself and try to stay in the same environment, it's not going to work. If you try to get better, if you try to rise up and you stay in the same environment, it's not going to work, because every time you try to rise up, they're going to pull you back down. Every time you try to rise up and go to the next level and go higher and improve yourself and get better, your environment is going to pull you back down because you're in that same old environment. And so it's not enough to just change yourself. It's like the crab mentality. I know you heard of the crab mentality, to where you have crabs in a bucket, and every time one of the crabs tries to climb out, all the other crabs just pull them back down. That's what's going to happen if you just try to change yourself and stay in the same old environment. You try to change yourself and you try to stay in the same old neighborhood. If you try to change yourself and stay in the same community, if you try to change yourself and stay in the same job, it's not going to work. You're going to be frustrated, because every time you try to get better, people are going to hold you back. Every time you try to rise up, they're going to pull you back down. So it doesn't make sense to just change yourself and stay in the same old place. And the opposite is true. If you just try to change your environment, you just try to go to a new place and don't change yourself, it's not going to work either. You got people who go from one job to the next complaining, because they complain about the job and they complain about the environment, but they never do anything to change themselves. They never evaluate themselves. They never take a look in the mirror and see, okay, how did I contribute to this? And they go from one thing to the next, one thing to the next, one idea to the next idea, without ever thinking about, what do I need to do to change? Where did I go wrong? And so that's not going to work either if you just try to change your environment, because wherever you go, you take yourself with you. Wherever you go, there you will be. You can try to change the environments all you want, and you don't change yourself, you're going to bring those same... See, the thing about it is, you're going to bring the same mindset and the same old habits to your new environment. And what could end up happening is you could end up contaminating that new environment because of you bringing your old ways of thinking to that new environment. And so that doesn't help you at all. So what you have to do is you have to change yourself, you have to work on yourself, and you have to change your environment. You have to do both in order to be successful at it.